Before we take our seats, if you could kindly allow us to have a session of prayers, and I want to invite the two persons who are going to lead us in that, Mr. Bildad Famba, kindly come over, and Mr. Hussein Rahid, please come over as well. Karibu sana.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning with hearts full of gratitude. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of life, and thank you for the opportunity to come together this morning for this special event in the history of Family Bank. Thank you, Lord, for your enabling grace that has seen Family Bank come this far. And this morning, Lord, we humbly invite you into our presence, even as we go through the items of the agenda this morning. May your divine wisdom guide us as we prosecute the items of the agenda. In Jesus' name we pray.
Good morning, all protocols observed. Kindly let us pray. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Wa sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin.
Thank you so much. And just before we sit one more time, allow us to just set the mood a little bit. So if you're sitting next to someone who's not smiling in a way, I just want you to give a fist to the left and to the right. Tell them, welcome. It's a beautiful day today. All right? Please do so. Please do so right now. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Now, all right, one more ask. One more ask. Somebody is doing that to 10 people. I just say 2. That's okay. That's all right. I understand that. Just one more ask, if you don't mind. We have to tell the world this is happening, and it's part as well of a request by the media team. So if you don't mind, and I know sometimes there's a bit of that moment, kindly, the person who gave you the best smile, check what kind of phone they have, because we're about to take some selfies. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We have to tell the world that Family Bank is listing right here at the exchange, all right? So why don't we have that moment? This is me giving you a chance to do that. If our founder can be getting the camera, who are you? I'm just saying. All right. So please, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's enjoy that moment. I think I want to assist my chair and chief guest. Excellent. I love that. That's a beautiful one there. That's a beautiful one there. Frank, is your camera working? Just check it. Look at that. Look at that from our chief guest. Thank you so much. Beautiful moment there. Tech team, if I can have this, the hashtag, Annette, if I could have the hashtag on the screen, that would be very nice. You can take your seats now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If I could have that hashtag up, I would appreciate it. I'll tell you what to do with it later on. Wow, that was good. There's still a group that is taking. We have to give them that moment. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to immediately just welcome us right here. And just before I do that, some quick housekeeping. If you need to utilize the facilities, just right outside there, we have them. And just to let us know, it's a beautiful and happy day, so make sure you're having a good time. Our program is very short, straight to the point, because we can't wait to start trading and to start the day as well. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to establish the protocols so that our guests may have an easier time coming in. The founder of Family Bank, Mr. T.K. Muya. Let's appreciate him with a clap. He's right here. Thank you so much for being here. Our chief guest and guest speaker as well, Mr. Andrew Musangi, the chairman of the Central Bank of Kenya. Thank you so much for being right here. I'm going to acknowledge the rest, and we shall give them one big clap, all of them. The chairman of the Capital Markets Authority, who's just getting in, Mr. Ugas Mohammed, the CEO as well of the Capital Markets Authority. Thank you for being here. Mr. Shamia. The chairman of the Nairobi Securities Exchange, Mr. Kiprono Kitoni, and of course all the board members present. The chief executive officer of the Nairobi Securities Exchange, Mr. Frank Mwiti. The chairman of Family Bank, Mr. Lazarus Mwema. The chief executive officer of Family Bank, Ms. Nancy Njao, as well present. All the board members as well and directors of Family Bank. We also have the executive director of Standard Investment Bank and transaction advisor, Mr. Job Kihumba as well, right in the house. We also want to acknowledge the entire SIB team. I saw quite a number of them in the house. The CEO of the Kenya Bankers Association, Raymond Bolenje, welcome, and it's good to see you as well. All the representatives in the house from the Capital Markets Authority, the Nairobi Securities Exchange as well, the Kenya Orient Insurance as well, and Orient Asset Managers, PwC, who are also transaction advisors and legal advisors as well from Wangundu, partners present, and also the anchor investors, and definitely some of the investors like CPF and other distinguished guests. And most of all, the investors in the house, the business leaders, the members of the media, invited guests. Ladies and gentlemen, let's applaud all the members present. Thank you so much for being right here. This is an auspicious occasion, and we're here to truly have this historic bell ringing. So we're not just going to also ring the bell, we are here to celebrate a remarkable journey of vision, resilience, and transformation of Family Bank. And we shall be listening in some of the history behind it and what we have seen. And I'm sure some of the people who are seated here have been able to appreciate the 17-minute documentary of the journey of Family Bank. And we appreciate the work that has been done. One thing I love about it is that the name family resonates with everybody, right? So in fact, maybe I should say welcome family. That's a beautiful one, right? Excellent, thank you so much. And if the founder can even clap at that moment, it means it's a big thing. Asante sana. So ladies and gentlemen, karibuni sana. We want to get the welcome and remarks, but before then, I had said that you take a selfie, and it is important we tell the world that this is happening. Tech team, if you can share that particular hashtag, I'd appreciate that. The hashtag is Family Bank Listing. As simple as that. We want everybody to know that Family Bank is listed. So if you can, by the way, you can scan that QR code. I normally say if your phone can't scan, you can pretend you're scanning and then go to Family Bank for asset finance and they can give you a better phone, all right? They have all that, all right? So scan that QR code. Family Bank listing is a conversation. And by the way, once you scan in, there's a place where you can give in any goodwill message you have as we commemorate this day. If I could have the next slide, please, I would appreciate that, Annette, so that we can be able to do that, the hashtag, so that we can display it. So thank you so much once again for being right here. To welcome us here is our very own CEO, Mr. Frank Mwiti, the CEO of the NSE PLC. Karibu sana, Frank. Makofi tafadhali as he comes as well to welcome us. Welcome, sir.
Thanks, Maina. I think before I say all protocols observed, now that you've recognized everybody, I think you forgot the former chairman, Wilfred Kiboro. So Wilfred, welcome. Now I can say all protocols observed. Good morning and welcome to the NSE. I feel like I'm on stage because there's a very bright light on my face. So if my specs change, it's because they are monochromatic. So it's not that I'm wearing shades. Today is truly a historic occasion. And I dare say, welcome to what is arguably Kenya's most anticipated bank listing in decades. I think Family Bank's admission to the Nairobi Securities Exchange is not merely the listing of a financial institution. It is the culmination of a remarkable entrepreneurial journey, a story of vision, of courage, of resilience, and definitely unwavering belief in the power of enterprise to transform lives. As we celebrate this milestone, I think it is fitting that we recognize the man whose dream started this all, Mr. Titus Muya. Thank you, sir. More than 4 decades ago, he saw opportunity where others saw limitation. He built an institution that would go on to serve millions of Kenyans and become one of the country's most respected financial institutions. In an article in the Business Daily yesterday, for those of you who read it, at the very end, it said his enduring advice is, and I quote, "Take courage and follow your dream and actualize it," which I think perfectly captures the spirit of this occasion today. Today, that dream stands before us as a listed company on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Mr. Muya, your journey reminds us that great institutions are built not merely through capital, but through conviction, perseverance, and purpose. So on behalf of the NSE and the entire capital markets fraternity, we thank you for your contribution to Kenya's economic development and for inspiring future generations of entrepreneurs. Today's milestone is equally significant because it shines a spotlight on leadership and inclusion. So I would like to congratulate the Family Bank CEO and MD, Ms. Nancy Jao. Nancy's story is also an extraordinary one. Having joined Family Bank as a management trainee and risen through the ranks to become the CEO, I think she embodies the power of dedication, excellence, and long-term institution building. And I should say, she's also one of the few female CEOs leading listed companies as of 9 o'clock today morning. So welcome, Nancy. And we are happy to have you among the listed companies leaders. You know, when I joined the NSC, in what appears to be a very long time ago, but surprise, surprise, I only finished 2 years last month. My chairman, Mr. Kiprono, sat me down and he gave me what I can only describe as my first performance contract. And you know, he usually calls me Frank or Mwiti, but when he says, Bwana CEO, then I know I need to listen. Then he said, Bwana CEO, first order of business is get pipeline privatized, get Family Bank listed, and deliver one other transaction which is on the way. I won't tell you because it's confidential, but it's coming. So, of course, today, I feel my performance contract. To the Family Bank team, thank you. You actually. So thank you for that. Now, one of the key priorities of the NSC is, of course, to support family-owned businesses. And in many ways, Family Bank, given its roots, has family ownership in it. And our view is that we must support family businesses in Kenya to secure their legacy, to institutionalize their success, to access long-term capital, and to flourish across generations. We want to see more Kenyan family-owned businesses transition from successful enterprises into enduring institutions. And we want to see them expand beyond our borders, compete globally, create jobs at scale, and ultimately become African champions. And Family Bank, in my view, demonstrates precisely what is possible when vision is matched with discipline, with proper governance, and long-term thinking. So today, therefore, represents more than a listing. I think it represents a blueprint for Kenyan enterprises. And it demonstrates that businesses such as this can successfully transition into transparent, well-governed, publicly traded institutions while preserving the values and entrepreneurial spirit that made them successful in the first place. To the founder, the board of the Family Bank, led by Mr. Lazarus, shareholders of Family Bank, a lot of whom will become shareholders in the next 30 minutes or so. I thank you for choosing the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Your confidence in the NSC is deeply, deeply appreciated. And it comes at a particularly exciting time for Kenya's capital markets, when local and international institutional investors are increasingly focused on opportunities available through our market. Your listing strengthens the market, it broadens investment opportunities, and reinforces Kenya's position as one of Africa's leading investment destinations. I also wish to express our sincere appreciation to the Capital Markets Authority. Chairman Ugas is here and CEO Wycliffe is here. Thank you very much for your support. To the Central Bank of Kenya, Chairman Andrew is here. Thank you very much for your support. I think the successful listing of Family Bank is a reflection of the strong partnership that exists across Kenya's financial sector regulators and market institutions. Thank you to both of institutions. Your continued support and stewardship will continue to be critical to the growth, stability, and integrity of our capital markets ecosystem. So in closing, today, Family Bank joins a community of companies that are helping shape Kenya's economic future. We are honored that you have chosen to write the next chapter of your story on the NSE. And on behalf of the NSE fraternity, I extend our warmest congratulations and a heartfelt welcome. And you have our assurance that you will be a true partner in your next chapter. Welcome home. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Band, thank you for that. All right. Now, there's a quick one here. I think Frank has just said that Family Bank is a key economic engineer in our country, and that's very true. In fact, I was just confirming from the CEO of the Kenya Bankers Association that Family Bank is among the top three banks in the country that has not shied away from lending to MSMEs and SMEs. I think we need to applaud that. Thank you so much for that. Well done for that. It's a great work. All right. Our chairman is right here, Mr. Kiprono Kitonyi. Karibu sana. Makofi tafadhali to him as well as he comes to welcome us.
Our chief guest here this morning, the chairman of Central Bank of Kenya, my brother, Mr. Musangi, the founder, TK Muya, the board and management of Family Bank PLC, representatives of the Capital Markets Authority and NSC, CASIB, fund managers, and other investors, fellow capital market stakeholders, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It gives me great pleasure to join capital market stakeholders and the Family Bank fraternity as we gather not simply to witness a listing, but to celebrate a defining moment in Kenya's financial history. Today's listing is not merely the admission of a new security onto the trading board of the NSE. It is a statement of Kenyan institutions, that Kenyan institutions can be built from modest beginnings into nationally significant enterprises. Ladies and gentlemen, few institutions better embody the spirit of Kenya's entrepreneurship, resilience, and determination than Family Bank, as evidenced by their journey. From its origins as a modest building society serving ordinary Kenyans, the institution has grown into one of the country's most significant and respected indigenous financial institutions. Through changing economic cycles, technological disruption, regulatory evolution, and increasing competition, Family Bank has consistently demonstrated its ability to innovate, adapt, create lasting value for its customers, shareholders, and for the wider economy. Today, that remarkable journey reaches another historical milestone as Family Bank joins the NSE. The listing marks a new chapter in Kenya's evolution, the bank's evolution, reflecting a higher level of corporate maturity and institutional development. By entering the public market, Family Bank is embracing the highest standards of transparency, governance, accountability, and public participation, while also affirming its readiness for sustained growth and leadership in Kenya's banking industry and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, the significance of this milestone extends far beyond the listing itself. It provides the bank with access to a broader and more diversified pool of capital to support its future expansion, technological innovation, product development, and long-term strategic growth. It also elevates the bank's profile amongst both national, domestic, and international investors, strengthening confidence in its vision, strategy, and prospects. As a publicly listed institution, Family Bank will continue to benefit from its enhanced visibility with its stakeholders through adherence to the highest standards of disclosure and governance. Most importantly, it creates an opportunity for thousands of Kenyans to participate directly in the bank's future and provides liquidity and value realization to the existing shareholders while opening the door for new investors to become co-owners of one of Kenya's foremost financial institutions. In doing so, the bank's interests align with its shareholders, its customers, and the broader economy with a transparent framework that promotes sustainable growth, shared prosperity, and long-term value creation. Ladies and gentlemen, this listing extends beyond the bank itself. It is equally a big victory for us at the NSC. The NSC exists to mobilize capital, facilitate investments, and create promising enterprises with investors seeking opportunities for growth. The admission of this bank represents much more than a corporate transaction. It represents the continuing strength of Kenya's market architecture and reinforces our position of the NSC being a premier capital raising platform in the continent of Africa. For your information, last year, we were rated as the second best performing exchange in Africa. The year before, we were number 1. This is not by accident. It is through deliberate policy action. It is through clear strategy. It is through innovation. It is through product diversification. And it is through the long hours that the board and the management and all the other stakeholders, not ourselves, the stakeholders, the Association of Stockbrokers, Investment Bankers, the Fund Managers Association, many of us have sat long hours to make it a reality that we have a market as vibrant as we have today. It is our hope that this listing serves as a catalyst that inspires family-owned businesses, privately held corporations, emerging champions, and regional enterprises to view capital markets as a destination, as not a destination of last resort, but as a strategic partner in their growth journey. The listing comes at a particularly exciting moment in our capital markets. And over the recent period, our market has experienced remarkable growth, big resurgence characterized by strong investor confidence, rising valuations, improving liquidity, and renewed participation from both local and international investors. The bullish momentum across the market has not occurred by accident. It is through our strategic intervention and a clear 2025 to 2029 strategy that we are now in the process of implementing. Favorable macroeconomic conditions have also helped, and thank you, Chairman. Central Bank has really ensured that we are able to walk this journey with certainty. The shilling has been stable, interest rates have been dropping, and a lot of the key parameters that determine macroeconomic conditions are in very good hands in the custody of this government and in the custody of our regulators who do a tremendous job, including our CMA. So Family Bank's listing did not occur in isolation. It forms part of a broader narrative, a narrative of growth, a narrative of confidence, and a narrative that confirms that we know what we are doing. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, as market participants, we cannot be more proud than we are today. We are witnessing history, and we are making history ourselves. We are transforming enterprises, creating opportunities, and mobilizing savings into productive investments. And this listing embodies those ideals and represents the great work that has been going on in this endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my last official function as a chair of the exchange. I joined the exchange in 2018 as a board member, and I started serving as chairman in 2020 in the middle of COVID, wearing my gumboots in the farm on an online meeting. We were just starting to get used to online meetings, and I was wearing jeans and a tie on top. I was dressed like the founder because I didn't know what lay ahead of me, and I was just sitting there, and I was told, now you're the chair of the exchange. And it was a very depressing time. The market was dull, there were no listings, and I thought that I had actually been handed a poison chalice. But 6 years later, I stand here proud and confident that the journey that we started to walk then has yielded the fruits that we see today. The market is vibrant, and I want to use this opportunity to thank all the stakeholders who have supported us in this journey. All of you who have been with us, Kasib, fund managers, the board, the staff led by Frank. I hired Frank 2 years back. I persuaded him to take a pay cut. He's negotiating for a salary increment. I promised I'll do it before I leave. I leave on the 12th of July, and I'm going to try and keep my promise. But I just wanted to say that I, too, have been a witness of the history created by Family Bank. As the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce, I led a business delegation to China together on a state visit. I think Zioka Waita was there, Governor Kidero was there, and Titus Muya spoke on behalf of the Kenyan business community in Beijing, China. And thereafter, I also met him because in Kitale he uses my hotels, and I was told he was there one day. I woke up very early in the morning because I know he's an early riser, and I went to have breakfast with him. And I tried to persuade him that he needs to list Family Bank. And he said to me, it'll happen either in 2025 or 2026. Again, I tried, and he said it'll happen in 2025 or 2026. I visited Wilfred Kiboro. He said, talk to the founder. So I was sent to return to sender. And true enough, it has happened in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, many men and indeed many women can dream, but very few people have the ability to make dreams come true. Mr. Muya, I'd like to ask you to stand up. Can we please give him a standing ovation and a big round of applause as the vision bearer? Thank you. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Thank you very much, Mr. Muya, for allowing me to close my tour of duty as the chair of the NSC on such a high note. Thank you, and God bless you all.
All right, let's appreciate the chair one more time. Asante sana. And thank you for your leadership as well. I think my only ask is that, Frank, please remember me. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the house as well, we shall be doing a live trade and a live demo on how to trade. And because Safaricom is around here and they're going to be the ones helping us with this, I just want to appreciate two persons, Mwikia Kimandhi and C. Jimbugwa. Are you here? Just lift up your hand, wherever you are. The two of you stand up. You were the first ones to share the tweets when we asked you to do that. So because of that, I'm going to give you a hamper courtesy of Family Bank and as well some good air time from Safaricom, all right? Yeah, you see that? So see me behind the tent, all right? Thank you so much. For those of you who decided to just take pictures and not share, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, just to confirm that we are regulated and everything is perfect from all standards of regulations, we have in the house as well Mr. Ugas Mohammed, the chairman of the Capital Markets Authority. A round of applause to him as he comes as well. Karibu sana.
Chairman Andrew Musangi, Chairman CBK, Guest of Honor, Chairman Kiprono, I hear there's already protocols established. Good morning. Good morning again. Thank you very much. It is a great pleasure to join you today as we celebrate this significant milestone in Kenya's capital markets, the banking sector, and the listing of Family Bank. I would like to start by recognizing the guest of honor, of course, Chairman Musangi. This occasion marks an important chapter in the evolution of Capital Family Bank, a financial institution, as has been said. Of course, I'm coming on the back of two great speeches, so please forgive me. A financial institution that has grown steadily over the years to become one of Kenya's leading tier 2 banks, serving over 1.3 million customers across this country. Today's listing reflects not only the capital markets achievement, but also the increasing maturity and depth of our capital markets. The listing provides an existing shareholders with a regulated, efficient market through which they can trade their shares, while enabling broader base of investors to participate in the bank's growth journey. Ladies and gentlemen, the first half of this year has witnessed a remarkable resurgence in Kenya's capital markets, particularly at the NSE. This renewed momentum has been driven by strong corporate earnings, improved investor confidence, increased retail participation, supported by innovations such as the ZD Trader platform, as we all know. As a result of the market has recorded a strong rally in 2026, with key indices posting impressive gains in the first quarter and overall market capitalization continuing to expand. The listing of Family Bank is also significant for broader market development perspective. A vibrant securities market requires a steady pipeline of quality listings, as has been said, across the diverse sectors of the economy. The admission of Family Bank to the exchange increases investment opportunities across opportunities available to both institutional and retail investors. The significance of today's events extends far beyond the listing of a single institution. It represents confidence in our markets and the future of our economy. Ladies and gentlemen, as the authority, we continue to pursue deepening of capital markets, increasing the number of listed companies remaining a key priority. Public markets play a vital role in mobilizing long-term capital, supporting enterprise growth, creating wealth for investors, and fostering economic development. We therefore encourage more private enterprises and family-owned businesses that have attained sufficient scale and governance maturity to consider the capital markets as a pathway for growth and sustainability. The growth of listed companies also addresses market concentration risk, as most of the trading activity is dominated currently by few companies. Importantly, despite global economic uncertainties, our capital markets continue to provide credible and attractive platforms for investment, capital formation, and wealth creation. Ladies and gentlemen, the recent trajectory of our markets tells a compelling story. Over the past several years, we've witnessed a steady resurgence in market activity characterized by successful capital raising transactions, increased issuer engagement, product innovation, enhanced investor participation, and renewed interest in our markets. These developments underscore a fundamental reality, which is part of the story. Kenya's capital markets are resilient, adaptive, increasingly central to the country's economic development agenda. The listing of Family Bank further strengthens this narrative. Family Bank's journey from a modest institution focused on financial inclusion to a well-capitalized and nationally recognized financial institution. Congratulations, the founder, and of course, everybody that has been in this journey. Illustrates the transformative potential of a well-governed enterprise operating with vision, discipline, and long-term commitment. By joining the public markets, Family Bank embraces greater transparency, enhanced corporate governance, broader ownership, and stronger accountability to its stakeholders. These are values that lie at the heart of a vibrant and sustained market. The Capital Markets Authority remains committed, as I conclude, the Capital Markets Authority remains committed to creating an enabling environment for issuers, investors through responsive regulation, innovation, market integrity, and investor protection. We continue to work closely with the National Treasury, the NSC, market intermediaries, and other stakeholders to develop policies and reforms that enhance attractiveness and competitiveness of the Kenyan capital markets. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Capital Markets Authority, I congratulate the board, management, employees, shareholders, transaction advisors, and all stakeholders who have contributed to making this listing a reality. Your dedication, vision, and commitment culminated in this historic achievement. We wish Family Bank every success as it embarks on this new phase as a public listed or public traded company, and look forward to its continued contribution to Kenya's growth of the financial sector and capital markets. Congratulations again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chair. Asante sana. Round of applause as well to him, the entire capital markets as well, and even the representatives in the House. Asanteni sana. Allow me to move quite fast now, because in a few moments we'll be having the first live trade. Please turn to the person sitting next to you, ask them, are you ready to buy, as many, you don't just sit there. You are here witnessing and you didn't buy. That would be very bad. FFA Job Kihumba is right here from Standard Investment Bank. He's the executive director. A round of applause to him as he comes. They were the transaction advisors. They've done a good job to ensure that we're here. Karibu.
Our guest of honor, Chairman Andrew Musangi, Chairman of the Central Bank of Kenya, the Chairman of the Nairobi Securities Exchange, Kiprono Kitone, members of the board of the NSC, the CU, Capital Markets Authority, Wycliffe Samia, and not to fail to mention TK Moya, the founder of Family Bank, which has brought us here. Also the chairman of the Family Bank, Lazarus Mwema. Thank you very much for coming. And I'm just reminded in the back of my mind that all protocol has also been taken care of. So I'll just say all ladies, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It is a great honor and privilege to stand before you today as we mark the successful listing of Family Bank shares on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. The idea of listing of Family Bank on the NSC has been there for quite a while, and I must sincerely thank the board and management of the bank for making it happen now. Congratulations. This is a major milestone for not only the bank, but also for Kenya's capital markets. Issuers such as Family Bank play a vital role in the mobilization of long-term capital required for development of economies such as Kenya. For more than a decade, we have witnessed a scarcity of new listings of the NSC, and this step by Family Bank is most welcome. Last year, Family Bank offered its shares on the private placement space, possibly to test the readiness of the market. The market did not disappoint. The private placement was oversubscribed, and this is no doubt gave the bank confidence for an open listing, which we are here to witness. To get to this point required the active collaboration of many groups of people. But without doubt, the issuer, again, Family Bank comes first. The decision to list was theirs. They could have decided not to. To achieve this milestone required that they put together a team made up of a number of market players and professionals, each doing their part to achieve this goal. We therefore would like to sincerely thank the board and management of Family Bank for pulling this through. Congratulations once again. I would like to specifically mention a few names who, with the support of many in their teams, of very able professionals worked tirelessly for many hours in many days to make this happen. Madam CEO, Nancy Jao, was unrelenting throughout. She pushed and cheered the team forward. Thank you so much. The CFO, Paul Garagari, she is right there. Always and at any time ready with figures and advice. Thank you so much. The company secretary and group legal officer, Mr. Eric. I can't see him. Oh, he's right here. Thank you so much, Eric. You always ensured and reminded us that we must keep to the regulatory guidelines. Thank you so much. On the board side, the chair of the board, Lazarus Mwema, was exemplary in his resolve to push the whole team towards achieving this dream. But the carrier of the dream, who the media called the dreamer who built Family Bank, just yesterday, that was the media, remains. We want to congratulate Toitas again. Without that dream, we will not be here. We celebrate him once again most sincerely. On behalf of SIB, the lead transaction advisor for this listing, I wish to sincerely thank all the professional teams involved. There were many, and I would mention just a few. These are duly listed in the information memorandum, if you want to read about them. The legal team was led by Boya Wagong and Wayaki advocates, led by Godwin and CJ. Godwin, CJ, I can see. Thank you so much. And the reporting accountants, PwC, did a wonderful job. The SIB transaction team was actually led by two great ladies, Lorna Wamboi and Stella Kisoi. Where are you? Like, let's give them an approach. Many times we forget to remember the people who are actually working behind the scenes. So deliberately, I want to mention. There is a gentleman who helped a lot in this process. The portfolio manager and the executive director in charge of global markets at this SIB, who was very confident about this transaction. And he told us we must invest in this at the private placement level. Nahashon Mungai, where are you? Let's give you a round of approach. Thank you so much. Let me also mention with deep gratitude the Capital Markets Authority. We have seen the chairman, thank you so much. Nairobi Securities Exchange and the Central Depository and Settlement Corporation for assisting in the process were exemplary in ensuring that we were never hindered. And I'm being honest, we were always encouraged, not hindered. Thank you so much, the regulatory bodies. These institutions have time and again proved that they are committed to ensuring orderly and fast growth of our capital markets. Thank you so much. And finally, for investors, we deeply appreciate the trust you have placed on this great bank. More than 10 years ago, there were people again in a private placement put in money and resources to support Family Bank. I will not mention them, but they know themselves. Some are here. I have even seen some. And those who will today place buy orders to buy Family Bank shares today, and in the future, you will not be disappointed. That one I can tell you. There has been a remarkably amazing performance coming out of this indigenous bank with great promise. I'm emphasizing this because we need indigenous institutions, encouraged and see them growing. Family Bank is the preferred bank for Biashara. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you so much, Job, and the entire team of SIB for the work you did as transaction advisors. I'd like to draw your attention to the screen because we're about to transition now to our very beloved family that has brought us here. We have a short video for you to appreciate some of the works they do, and then I shall be inviting the CEO. Tech team.
Sustainable development doesn't start small. It demands scale, precision, relentless momentum. To move markets, serve millions, and never stand still. To travel further, faster, connecting opportunity across nations. With impact that shapes institutions and prepare generations. Impact that builds cities, defines skylines, and stands the test of time. Impact that transforms land into abundance, into a greener future. Because sustainable development requires more than a vision. It requires a bank with the sustainable capacity to fund great ideas. That bank is Family Bank.
Family Bank. Imara pamoja. Family Bank.
The preferred bank for biashara. That is why tuko imara pamoja.
Family Bank. Imara pamoja. Family Bank. Imara pamoja. Tukiwa pamoja. Tukiwa pamoja. Hakuna kinachoshindikana.
Tuko imara pamoja.
Family Bank.
Family Bank.
Imara pamoja.
With you for life. Family Bank is regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Let's appreciate that moment. And before our CEO stands, I'm well informed by the weatherman that it is still chilly. Can everybody kindly stand for a moment? This wasn't part of the script, but this is mine. So I'd like us to do this. Did you hear that kind of beat that we had with Family Bank? All right, just rub your hands a little bit. Get yourself warm a little bit, just a little bit. You will appreciate this better, all right? If I say 3, 2, go, you clap the hardest way, all right? 3, 2, go. Then rub it one more time. 3, 2, go. Excellent. Are you ready? Are you feeling a bit warm? Please put your hands together for the CEO, Miss Nancy Njau, as she comes as well to address us. You may take your seats. Thank you.
Our chief guest, Mr. Andrew Musangi, Chairman of CBK, all protocols observed. Good morning. Good morning. Are you excited like me today? Are we excited? All right. It's indeed a great honor to once again stand on the NSE trading floor, a place that represents ambition, enterprise, and continued growth of Kenya's capital markets. For Family Bank, this is a familiar territory. We have been here before to commission our MTN boards over the years, but today carries greater significance. So I would like to thank the NSE, led by its chairman, Mr. Kitoni, and the CEO, Mr. Mwiti, for the warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, 19 years ago, Family Finance Building Society was formally welcomed to the fold as a fully fledged commercial bank by the Central Bank of Kenya. Since then, Family Bank has worked tirelessly to grow and to establish itself as a homegrown financial institution with a singular vision to be the financial institution that leads in the positive transformation of people's lives in Africa. Over the years, Family Bank has nurtured 3 subsidiaries that have come in handy to support this vision. One of those subsidiaries is our family bank, bancassurance intermediary, that offers the much needed insurance needs to our customers. The Family Group Foundation is a subsidiary through which our social investments are channeled, and we have seen great impact in education, in youth empowerment, in environmental conservation, among other impact areas. PesaPub Digital is the youngest kid on the block, offering technology solutions in this ever-changing world. Today, we are proud to be a bank that continues to empower households, entrepreneurs, and MSMEs. You've heard from the previous remarks that Family Bank has been recognized as a bank, especially within this year, first quarter. We're among the top 3 banks that supported MSME. Amidst all the banks that we have, Family Bank came out among the 3 that supported the MSMEs fully. And it's because we are well aware that this is the very backbone of our Kenya's economy. We understand, we appreciate the role that MSMEs play, the kind of labor market that they provide, and the contribution that they make in our GDP. So our growth continues to be reflected in our performance over the years. I'm sure you have seen our numbers at one point or another, including today in the papers. You have seen the kind of growth that this bank has recorded over time. It is not common to have an institution that on key metrics is recording a double-digit compounded annual growth rate. That deserves a clap. More specifically, if you look at the financial year ended 2025, the profit after tax grew by 55.4% to Kenya shillings 5.4 billion. Our loan book expanded to Kenya shillings 105.9 billion, and this really is a demonstration of how we support as a bank. We continue to support the traders, the entrepreneurs, the women, the agriculture. As you'll hear probably later, that is our backbone. We started from dealing with the farmers. And our growth in loan book, despite the market shrinking at some point, Family Bank, I want to assure you that this bank has never shrunk in its loan book, because we know that we have a very clear mandate to lend to the private sector. The performance for Q1 2026 demonstrated the strategic clarity that this bank has. We recorded the highest, among the highest, growth in profit after tax, where we did 1.6 billion, a 52.6% year-on-year growth. Most importantly, our liquidity ratios and capital adequacy ratios have remained well above the statutory requirements. Over and above that, we have diversified our product offerings, catering to diverse customer needs, while strengthening our community presence by expanding our branch network to our current 96 branches spread across the country. And this year, we want to cross the 100 mark in 2026. So by the end of this year, this great bank will be priding itself in having presence in over 100 locations. At the heart of this journey is our 2025-2029 strategy. And this strategy is anchored on 4 core pillars. Number 1 is the compelling customer propositions, where we seek to continue engaging with our customers to understand their needs even as we offer solutions to them. We have another pillar, which is productivity and efficiency, just checking how we can make it easier for our customers and our staff to do business. The other one is digitization and data utilization. We appreciate as a bank that we need to do a lot of investments within the technology space so that we can be able to solution our dear customers. So this aspiration of being the preferred bank for Biashara is going to help us to support the entrepreneurs, the traders, the businesses that drive Kenya's economy every single day. Our ambition to become a Tier 1 bank in Kenya has never been much closer than it is now. We continue to grow our market share, having recorded a 16% growth in our market share during the year 2024, as per the CBK annual report. If you compare our market share in 2023 and our market share in 2024, we grew that by 16%. And we are confident that we also pushed that a bit in 2025. We are waiting for that report. Our strategy also envisions opportunities for regional presence during this strategic period. And this is going to position Family Bank better in terms of growth. One thing I want to mention about Family Bank is that this is an institution that continues to champion inclusivity. We pride ourselves to be among the very few, if any, institution, and specifically a financial institution that has achieved a 50-50 gender balance. And this is both at our board level and our staff level. This is rare. You agree with me, isn't it? Very rare. So as a bank, we continue to champion that because we believe there is strength in diversity, there is strength in inclusivity. Today, we mark yet another defining milestone that reflects not only how far we have come, but also the confidence that we have in the future. Our listing on the NSE represents the continued evolution of Family Bank into a stronger, more transparent, and future-ready bank. It reflects the confidence we have in our strategy, in our governance structures, in the resilience of Kenya's economy, and most importantly, in the people and businesses we serve every single day. As a listed bank, we embrace an even greater responsibility to create sustainable value for our shareholders, our customers, our employees, and the wider community. Today positions us to accelerate our long-term growth ambitions while strengthening our contribution to financial inclusion and economic empowerment across the country. For us, this is not the destination, but the beginning of an even bigger and exciting chapter. As I conclude, we invite all our stakeholders to continue walking this journey with us as we build an even stronger, more inclusive, and future-ready institution. Tuko imara pamoja. I would like to thank our customers most sincerely. Thank you so much for walking this journey with us, for trusting us with your businesses, for believing in us, for believing in our vision. I want to thank our shareholders, our staff, and our partners of Family Bank, all for your support. As we take this next step, let's continue to grow together. To the Capital Markets Authority and Nairobi Securities Exchange, thank you for your efforts, for your guidance throughout this process. I would also want to recognize the lead transaction advisors, Standard Investment Bank, PricewaterhouseCoopers as the reporting accountants, and Boya, Wangongu, and Wayaki Advocates as the legal advisors. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to work with us and be part of this exciting chapter. Tuko imara pamoja. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much, Madam CEO. A bit of round of applause, please, even as she gets appreciated by the founder and the team. I am receiving the goodwill messages on behalf of Family bank through our QR code, and I can read one here. Congratulations, Family Bank. I love the journey. I love you. That's someone who's really feeling it from the heart. Thank you so much. So if you have a goodwill message on this day, feel free to share. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. At 9:30 on the dot, we shall have our live trade. And so I very much wish our chairman the very best, even as he gives his remarks. Please put your hands together for the chair as he comes, Mr. Lazarus Mwema, the chairman of Family Bank. Welcome.
Our chief guest, Chairman Central Bank, Andrew Musangi. All protocols observed because they've been established. And I'm tempted to almost say that I would like to stand by the speeches already given because they are very powerful. But let me just mention one or two things without repeating much of what has been said. I can confirm it's all very true. The future of the bank is bright. It is indeed a pleasure to address you, ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion of ringing the bell for the listing of Family Bank shares. The one thing I must speak to is a question that has been asked by most of our shareholders for the last 10 years. And I remember my predecessor, Bwana Wilfred Kiboro, always had a very good answer for that question. The question was, when is the Family Bank going to list its shares on Nairobi Securities Exchange? It's a difficult question, so let me attempt to answer it. So the answer is today, ladies and gentlemen. So the long wait is over, just to put a little bit of cushion to that statement. Family Bank shares will be trading here within very few minutes from now. But there is a background to this. 5 years ago, we stood here to ring the bell. We were intending to raise 3 billion shillings in a bond. We succeeded in raising more than 4.4 billion shillings. More recently, we went to the market to raise some capital, equity capital, in a private placement. And the market was very responsive. It was oversubscribed by 30%, and we raised 8 billion shillings. So let me say this. These successive capital raising initiatives have strengthened our balance sheet, modernized our banking infrastructure, deepened shareholder confidence. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of our listing today is not mainly to raise capital, but it is to improve tradability, and some people call it liquidity, for the current and future shareholders. Now, the second thing that I would like to emphasize, and probably this is very close to the last thing I'm going to say, is that at Family Bank, the board is fully committed to growth with good governance and sustainability. I'm pleased to note that Family Bank has grown significantly, and the MD has spoken to that. We've now crossed the 200 billion shilling mark in terms of our assets. And she has spoken about exceeding 100 branches this year. I had not put that in our scorecard, so I'm going to adjust it and ensure that we get to those great heights. We strongly believe that joining the Nairobi Securities Exchange is yet another opportunity to improve governance. It places Family Bank under full public market disclosure standards. It elevates governance, transparency, and accountability to the highest standards in the market, and the board welcomes this. On the business front, and this is very important, we have actually discovered that as you increase your shareholders, you are most likely to increase your customers, because shareholders tend to be some of the most loyal customers. So ladies and gentlemen, just allow me to recognize some of the players that have, and the stakeholders that have worked with me. If I could kindly ask my fellow board members to stand. Board members, Family Bank here present, including the company secretary. Please, let's give a round of applause for them. Thank you. If you could sit down. I would also like to recognize former board members, led by our former chair, Wilfred Kiboro. If you could stand, Wilfred. These board members did a lot of heavy lifting, still contributing towards the occasion. I would like, therefore, to appreciate our shareholders, current and future, and some of them are joining us in a few minutes. I would like to appreciate our customers and partners, our advisors, led by Standard Investment Bank, and then the NSC, led by our chairman, Kiprono Tony. And I must particularly recognize the contribution of your CEO. He definitely deserves the salary adjustment. As soon as we started giving inklings that we were tending to list our shares, he rounded up his team, took us out for lunch, and started educating us on the journey ahead. So thank you very much, Frank. I really appreciate that. Thank you for enabling, and to the CMA, the CBK, Chairman, I know you've made great sacrifices to be here, and we really appreciate that. Finally, let me just say something that our customers have been telling us, and this is about how we create an enabling environment for more institutions to list and also for the economy to grow. And they've been saying a few gestures from all quarters tend to help a lot. They've been talking about tax breaks. They've been talking about settlement of pending bills. They've been appreciating the very strong monetary policy that supports a stable currency. These and many others are very, very helpful to creating an enabling business environment. My appreciation would not be complete, of course, without recognizing TK Moya, the founder. A lot of people have mentioned that name. Despite his very young age, he continues to serve on my board, and he provides valuable insights into our institutional memory. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to not to stand between you and the main event of the day. May God bless you all. May God bless the NSC. May God bless Family Bank. And may God bless our beloved country of Kenya. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Asante sana. Just right on time. We're just 3 minutes to start, so I want to request the chairperson to kindly lead us as we head there, together with the chairperson as well of Family Bank, the CEO as well, and our CEO as well, including the chairperson of the Capital Markets Authority would like you there, and our founder as well. Please head right there so that we can be able to do this transaction. And I know SAB is represented by the persons themselves who are executing this. If I could have a cordless microphone very fast, taken to the trader, if you don't mind, a microphone, take him. Very fast, if you can. Rush it here, very fast. The cordless mic, please, so that we can have the trader speak. Make it fast. We are now 2 minutes to go. Make it fast, please, if you can. There you go. Pass it to the man with the red jacket. The red jacket persons. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And so probably they can explain to us what's happening even as we are counting down to the minute of the first live trade. Over to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Tony Waweru. I'm the head of trading at Standard Investment Bank. So we are just about to start trading, and as you can see already, buyers have queued up to buy the shares, and there are just one seller hoping to sell also and making their return over the time. So we are just waiting for the market to open at 9:30 sharp. Then probably I'll be able to do a small demo trade. But generally speaking, it looks like there's quite a bit of demand on the share. Buyers are already lined up almost to about 30 shillings and 5 cents. So
not to worry, the man who opens the market is right next to you, and I can see we have 30 seconds. Sir, do you have the key? Just checking, all right. So there's that. There you go, it's 9:30.
it's open trading. So the market is open. So I've lined up a few trades, buyers together with sellers. So what I'm going to do is submit the buying orders first, which is what I'm doing currently. And then you will notice, if you look at the order book, they've already lined up. So what I'm going to do next is put a sale order based on the buyers I can see in the market. So, 1 second. Good price. So I'm going to submit a sale order. So you notice it has traded, and if we come here where the trades are lined up, the opening price has averaged at 22.58.
Wow. Let's appreciate that moment.
On 896,000 shares.
Wow, Asante Sana. Let's appreciate that moment, and if you don't mind, when you're still there, let's take some pictures right there. Some pictures right there. Just look at the camera person straight forward. That marks first. We are live. We are live. For the one who is that who was selling that, I wish you well. For the ones who are buying, please buy as much as you can. Makofi Tafadhali, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And we can have our seats now after that. Asante Sana. There's someone already who is trying that. Right about now, we're going to have a live trade simulation on Z-Day. Just a live one so that anybody who wants to know how to do this can learn, even as my guests take their seats. Asante Sana. Z-Day, if you're ready, we are more than ready for you. Yeah, for the ones who are already on the app, don't jump it. Some people are already buying too much. Excellent. Zidi, are we set? Yes, let's have that live demo. Thank you, band. Thank you, band. Thank you, band. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I think I'm going to ask the chairpersons and the CEOs. The joy is too much. The joy is too much. The joy is too much. Thank you so much. All right, let's have that live simulation by Zidi. Please go ahead. If you could have it on the screens as well. I think it's been shown.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So this is I'm live on ZD Trader. So I'm going to press on Family Bank, and then I'm going to go to the order book.
Okay. Can we have some volume on his mic, please, so we can hear him? Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, so you can see the bids and offer price. So I'm going to place my order.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Please listen in.
I'm going to place my order. So I can see we have at 30. So I'm just going to place mine at flat 30. So just come here, say 100 shares at 30. Okay,
All right.
then I'm going to choose M-Pesa, ready. And then,
Ooh.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. I've placed my order at 30.
Ah,
Okay, yeah.
confirmed and bought and ready to go.
Yep. So should be running market.
Yeah. Well done. Are you buying more or what? I think
Just
that
checking
the
order
rest
book,
can
yeah.
be private.
I
Yep.
can see it just being added on the order book. So I'll just be waiting for sellers to match my order.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate that moment. That is live. So you can do the same thing. You know, people with a lot of money, I'm not talking about myself, they don't talk too much. They don't raise their voices. You noticed, right? So we appreciate you. Feel free to as well go ahead and buy. We are so much on good time and I can't wait as well. So we are just nearing the end of this for us to ring that bell. But before then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me. And it is indeed my distinguished honor to do this. And because the chairman set the protocol, I want us to kindly, in a beautiful way, give a standing ovation to the founder, Family Bank, Mr. TK Muya. A round of applause to him as he comes. Karim Israna. Bring him over.
Please sit down. First of all, I want to say yes, I'm in jeans. I wanted to wear a suit, but some members of my family say, no, you are no longer young. But my members of the family said no. Some members of my family said I should wear jeans. And I'm used to obey lawful instructions. So that's what I did. So, our chief guest, Mr. Andrew Musangi, Chairman of the Central Bank of Kenya. I know you are told all protocols observed, but there are few people I would like to mention. Of course, Kiprono Kitoni, Chairman of the Nairobi Securities Exchange, a man who has pestered me for more than 10 years to register this organization, and he admitted it. I also want to recognize Mr. August Mohammed, Chairman of the Capital Markets Authority. Before I go to ladies and gentlemen, I will talk about my family because they were left out and they are all here. Please, my family, stand up. That is my family. And you can see that the Kikuyu say, I'm rich in children. Thank you, sit down. So all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very, very big day for me. The importance of the day forces me to reluctantly go down memory lane to remember how Family Bank was born. I then remember that article that I read in 1961, that is 65 years ago. This article I read was in an international magazine, either in Newsweek or Time magazine. I was then 18 years old, and I was in Form 2 in high school. Some particles, because I cannot read everything, some particles read, and I quote, some of the biggest banks and some of the biggest international organizations you see in the world today were all started by individuals, etc., etc. That statement was true then, as it is true today, as it will be true 100 years from now. It is as a result of reading that article that someone, you can read T.K. Moya, decided that he would start a bank one day. For reasons I cannot narrate today, I was only able to start a building society. For reasons I cannot narrate today, I was only able to start a building society 23 years later. That is 1984. As to why 23 years later, and why a building society and not a bank is a story for another day. So we started a building society in 1984. Sorry to repeat that. Then today, in 1984, which I ran for 23 years before converting it into a commercial bank in the year 2007. Then today, 19 years later, the bank is listing at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Before that, it's not only Mr. Kitoni who has been asking when is the bank listing. Mr. Kiboro, the former chairman, will tell you that every AGM for the last 10 years or so, people were up in arms. When are you listing? When are you listing? You would guard me or protect my name by telling them, the situation is right, the price is not right. So let us do it at the right time. I want to tell Mr. Kiboro today that the time is right and we are doing it today. I must state, however, that this has been a long, exhausting, and challenging, but exciting journey. It was not easy. We have had a lot of challenges. But we have not walked the journey alone. First, we have worked with our customers. For you, our customers, you are part of the story and the history of Family Bank. Without you, Family Bank would not be here. We are very grateful to you. We cannot thank you enough. Suffice it to say thank you. The other group of people, I would have liked to thank them, and they have been thanked by the CEO, are the very loyal staff of Family Bank. Yes, the staff of Family Bank. And I want to remind you one of the most important things they did. And remember, we went through the challenges of NYS and the social media attack. And it is not TK Moya or the board that worked and talked to the customers and told them that family was not going anywhere. So I would like to say that Family Bank staff have been loyal, committed, and have ensured that Family Bank continues to see the light of day today. Before we converted to become commercial bank. We raised funds. And at that time, because we were building society, we were only able to raise some 600,000 shillings. But because our capital was not much that time, it still worked for us and made us move to a capital base of about 2 billion. That is what propelled us and enabled us to give more loans and enabled us to even invite a private equity investor known as Africa Invest, who came in for a while and then exited. And from then on, we did not get any other form of capital other than some funds that we raised through private placement and bonds. I must go back on memory lane again and say, what happened when we started Family Bank? I want to mention to you that what we did, which is very important, was because we didn't have structures, I found myself appointing myself as the first employee, as the first CEO of the bank, and 2 years later, as the chairman, executive chairman of the bank. At that time, there were no regulations that you cannot hold 2 positions. I was holding almost 3 positions. Founder, general manager, chairman, first employee, and sometimes doing a lot of things. I was doing lending, I was the HR, I was sometimes the accountant, I was everything. But that is how you struggle when you start an organization. And what I did those days when I look back is what every entrepreneur does. You don't start a company and then you employ a very expensive CEO. You don't start a company and then appoint a very expensive chief accountant or operations manager, operations director. No, you start there and then you grow gradually. When I look back, I know we did not sometimes follow the structures. Even central bank sometimes was coming to tell me, look, you need a chief executive officer. You need an operations manager. But slowly I avoided all that. And because we were liquid, they did not then bother. But there was but there were some institutions that ended up being closed because they were trying to do that and they had no alternative because they could not employ very expensive staff. I want my friends and the future entrepreneurs to know that. When you start small, don't allow yourself to be too expensive, go slowly. Waswahili wanasema, Waswahili wanasema, pole ndio mwendo, si ndio? Pole ndio nini? Hiyo ndio Family Bank ilifanya. I would like to thank the shareholders and stakeholders of Family Bank and investors, but I want to tell them that they must continue investing in Family Bank because this is their investment. There are times when some people invest in a company and then they go there, outside there, to do business with other companies. They are not helping their company to grow and be able to give them dividends on a regular basis. They just go, invest, and then look elsewhere. That is not very practical. I want to request that those who are our investors come and work and do business with us. Before I move from there, I want to go back. I have thanked our staff, but I want to tell them that remember this company is in your hands. Chairman Mwema and we, the board, do not come and work in the company. This is not the time that TK Moya was putting his hands or interfering with the management. The company is in the hands of the CEO and her management team and her whole staff. So what the chairman and the board can do is to pray for the staff, for God to give the staff the psyche to know this company is in their hands and they should go ahead and develop it and take it to the stratosphere. Do you hear what I want? To take the company where? To the stratosphere. We just want to stay there. And even Mwema, who's younger than me, starts looking up. He cannot see, and if he cannot see, I cannot see. I want them to be up there and be able to compete with the rest of the banking sector. Finally, I know the CEO thanked our regulators, the CBK, the NSC, and the CMA. But I want to emphasize that vote of thanks and say, these regulators, if it were not for them, we would not be listing today. What did they do? They give us all the approvals we needed on a timely basis. Thank you very much, regulators. But the main regulator of a bank is the Central Bank of Kenya. And the chairman of that Central Bank of Kenya is here, Mr. Andrew Musangi, our chief guest. We want him to know that even Central Bank gave us a lot of support in this journey of listing. Not to mention, Central Bank has always been our major advisor. That does not mean that we have always agreed with them. I know I have had fights with them here and there, but we have been friends. At the very end of the day, whenever I sobered up, I remember, hey, these people are the regulators. How can I afford to fight with them? And on that, I will take a swip. So, I want to thank the regulators and say we know that if it's not for them, we would not be listing today. With all those remarks, our guest of honor, my job for today is done. I'm very excited. I celebrate, I endorse, and I bless this listing of Family Bank at the NSC. But I want to say that this moment is not mine alone. It is for those who have supported and continue to support Family Bank. It is for those shareholders who have invested in Family Bank. It is for those stakeholders who have stood by us. I kindly ask you to join me in celebrating this major milestone of Family Bank. With those few words, thank you very, very much.
All right, thank you so much. Let's celebrate it one more time. Asante sana. Founder, Mr. TK. Asante sana. Very good, very good, very good. We may take our seats. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? As the chairman was speaking, the prize as of now is 50 cents shy of 50 shillings. See there? Wow, that's a good moment. There you go. Yeah. Money in the bank. Thank you so much. You may take your seats, Asante. Some people already doubling their income. Thank you. For the ones who are still, let me not go there. It's good to see you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to climax this moment before the bell ringing, we have our very own chief guest, the chairman of the Central Bank of Kenya, Mr. Andrew Musangi. A round of applause to him as he comes to address us. Karibu sana. Check him, he wants the handheld.
Good morning, everyone. Everybody's been observing all protocols and talking about the chairman, so you'll forgive me for ignoring the chairman and starting with my very good friend, TK Muya. Your board, led by Chairman Lazarus Mwema, CEO Nancy Njao, my brother Wycliffe Shamia, my brother Kiprono Kitonyi, Frank Miti, Ugas Mohammed, and many, many others gathered here today who have played such a significant role in building this institution. Once again, good morning. Those who know me well know that I'm not one for reading speeches. And on a day like this, it seems that many speeches would fail to capture the significance of this occasion. With my central bank hat on, maybe many would expect me to speak about governance, stable financial institutions, balance sheets, growth, maybe even exchange rates. But that would also fail to capture the story of a day like today. So let me talk about the journey, because today is all about journeys, and there are so many journeys that have been spoken about in this room. Around about 2006, I think it was Governor Njuguna Ndung'u who was there at the time, the law changed to allow full ownership of banks to sit in foreign hands. I think some of you will remember that occasion. There was a restriction that said 33% needs to be locals. And there was a sense of nervousness in the market. But in 2006, the leading banks in this country were foreign-owned. A lot of them, with the exception perhaps of KCB that was knocking on the door, and later on Equity. We used to talk about Barclays, we used to talk about Standard Chartered, we used to talk about Citibank. Am I correct? And with all the nervousness in the market at the time, the law changed and said, let them be fully foreign-owned. And it was curious because around this time, there was a quiet build-up in the market. TK had started Family Finance Building Society. There were other locally owned building societies that were growing. And I share this story because in 2007, the strategy meetings of those foreign-owned banks probably had a management team that was meeting all their targets. They were earning their bonuses and they were being told, well done, the Kenya market is growing. But we all know we were a very small market for those big banks that were multinationals. What was quietly happening at the time was what we are witnessing here today. Strong local financial institutions were growing steadily, growing in stability, growing in governance, developing strategies that were meant to meet the needs of real Kenyans. The real MSMEs, the people at the bottom of that pyramid, were being served by the then Family Finance Building Societies. 2 years ago, I attended Family Bank at 40. And at the time, TK told his story. He didn't tell it all today, perhaps for lack of time, because it's quite an interesting story. But the significant part of this story that I recall was he began lending money to people for the simplest of things. School fees. School fees. Every house needs school fees. Could you go to Barclays and get a school fees loan? No. But there was somebody providing it. And this story is told because the story of Family Bank is about serving felt needs in society. And that's what builds an institution like this today. So congratulations. I attended Family Bank at 40, and today at 42, I am here to celebrate the listing of the bank that we spoke about that night at the celebration. So congratulations to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey of our homegrown banks is something that we have to celebrate. Today, we are having big conversations about being at the top of the table. Today, the biggest banks are homegrown banks. Today, we are having a conversation with a family bank that has a core capital of 20 billion shillings plus, and assets in excess of 200 billion. I'll let that sink in, because if you look back at the institutions in this country that have grown exponentially, very few of them are comparable to the conversation we're having about Family Bank today. And this has been a 42-year-long journey. Now, I reflected also on the legacy. The name Family Bank was not chosen by accident. From my conversations with TK, you will all realize, and I was going to bring it up when I came up here, that when he stood here, he didn't start by telling you about balance sheets. Who did he ask to stand up? Family. Family. And the slogan I saw on the screen was, "With you for life." That message is not a message for his children. It's a message for everyone here. He's built an institution, and the true value of this institution will be it outliving its founder. And hence the call and the challenge. I saw grandchildren here, many of whom I know, that the custody of this legacy is being passed on to your generation. Nancy stood up here and expressed with a lot of confidence the balance in this institution of 50-50, women to men. And their granddaughters in the room. Their daughters in the room. The message to all of you is that the kind of institution that has been built today and listed is an institution that is sensitive to the future of both our young women and our young men. It's an institution that is building value intended to last for multiple generations to come. So congratulations, Family Bank, for that. It would be remiss of me as a central bank chairman not to talk about numbers. When we stood in that corner and the first trades happened, a lot of you were thinking about it purely in terms of, we've traded 1,000. What did we trade? 900,000 in about 5 minutes, correct? But in my central banker mind, I actually sat back and wondered how many of you realized that in a matter of 32 seconds, we had watched 40 billion shillings in wealth being created. Congratulations. And that's the kind of message that I think needs to go out to this country. When you pick up some of our newspapers and you read about billions, it is constantly in a negative sense. We have lost 2 billion here, We have lost 5 there. We have lost 20 there. Ladies and gentlemen, today you witnessed 40 billion being created without a single act of corruption. This is Kenya. This is Kenya. So sometimes, and I hope the media here, celebrate the good things that happen in this country called Kenya, because we don't have another Kenya. This is ours. This is the one, we have one lifetime to celebrate it in. We have no other place to take it. It is Kenya. There are times you pick up our media, especially our social media, and you wonder if people have another country that they would like to run to. One time, our currency went up to 165, and there was all this hype and hullabaloo in the media until we raised an international bond of 1.5 billion euros that was oversubscribed. And we came right back down to where we deserved to be at 129 to the dollar. We haven't moved since, and I'm not saying it's a walk in the park. I'm not saying it's an easy job with the monetary policy committees, but there are people who wake up morning, noon, and night knowing that there is no other Kenya that we can go to and work to build this country. The other day I woke up and somebody wrote an article saying the currency is too stable. And I said, you simply can't win. But take advantage of this stable currency, take advantage of this listing of the likes of Family Bank to build your wealth. Because this bank, as TK said, he's the founder. But he will leave it here, and he has left it here to all of us. He has shared his founding vision with all of us. If you miss this bus, do not turn around in 10 years when it is worth 1 trillion and say, I wish I was part of this journey. It's here for all of us. TK and your team, dreams are built like this. I know you dreamt and you persevered and you walked this journey. Nobody was celebrating you in headlines when you were walking this journey. And I will share this. In 2007, when the Nakuru branch was opened and family had just converted from a building society to a bank, that is when I first met TK Muya. In a little office in a building called Seguton Building in Nakuru town. And I was sitting in my little founder's hat in Mukite Musangi and Company Advocates, and I was told at my reception that there was a gentleman called Titus Muya who would like to see you. I walked out. Of course, I had heard of him. I ushered him into my office, and he pulled out account opening forms. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can confirm, apart from being the CEO, the executive chairman, the HR director, he was also the marketing manager and the Nakuru branch manager. But for your grandchildren, TK, this tells a story. We used to call it tammacking in our days. But today, the conversation is about the boots need to hit the ground, the hard yards need to be done before you get to a day when you can stand with Frank Mwiti and his team, with Ugas Mohammed and his team, and list a fully fledged 200 billion shilling bank. A lot of work has gone into this, and I sincerely congratulate you, and we pledge our support as the Central Bank of Kenya. Because regulators, TK, sometimes we may look like we have a tug of war, and we pull and push. But we are pulling in the same direction. That direction is intended to achieve the growth of this country and nothing else. When you grow, we grow. And I have said under my short tenure in that bank, we will serve our stakeholders. We are not policemen, we will serve them. I want to achieve a dream of seeing no single institution close under my watch. Not one, because that's my failing. And at Central Bank, we considered it our group failure if a single bank closes. There's been a lot of conversation about core capital. It doesn't apply to you. You're way past the target mark. So for you, my next challenge is look around the market. There might be a few people happy to sell, and you can acquire them and help them grow as well. So the conversations about taking Kenya back to the age of small banks, I think we are past that conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, our ambitions are as big as yours. We are only looking forward and to growth, growth and more growth. I wish you all the best. Today is not the culmination of a journey, in my view, as was stated, but it is the beginning of a big chapter for Family Bank. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate him one more time. Asante sana. Chairman Central Bank, thank you so much. I may need this mic because we're about to start moving a lot here. Thank you so much. Wow, I love everybody's feeling it, eh? Yeah, me too. Thank you. So what shall we do now? We want to ring the bell. It's the moment we've been waiting for. So I want to request all the speakers led by our chairman, our founder as well, chairman as well, kindly come up here for the bell ringing. Kindly come up to this stage. All the speakers who are here on stage, kindly come up right here. Also to join us as well, I would like to also have Professor Winnie Nyamute and Dr. Penina Karaoke kindly come up here for the bell ringing. And may I request, Mr. Wainaina, if you don't mind, you could pass the bell right straight to our floor right here. The chair will hand over the bell to the person who's going to ring it today. Tech team, if I could have this mic, I would appreciate it. Excellent. Yes, Vice Chair, please come up here. Yes, please come up here. Tech team, if you don't mind, can I have the cordless? Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, just before it rings, we will have a countdown on the screen. And immediately it hits 0, we shall all celebrate as the bell will ring. And so, I will help us as well count it down so that the persons at the front who may not be able to see the screen match will be able to flow with us. Are you ready for this moment? Are you ready? Excellent. May we have the countdown, please? It's coming.
Hello and good morning. Today, Family Bank marks a historic milestone. Our official NSE listing. Together with our stakeholders, we celebrate growth, transparency, and long-term value for our shareholders. As we approach the opening bell, we invite you to stay tuned for the moment that brings this new chapter to life. On behalf of Family Bank Limited, thank you for being part of this journey.
Family Bank, imara pamoja. Family Bank, imara pamoja.
There you go, the countdown is starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There goes the bell. There goes the bell. Let's appreciate that moment. Wow. Keep on ringing. Keep on ringing. Woo! Come on, everybody, celebrate that moment, Asante sana. Beautiful moment. Yeah. We are now live at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Congratulations, Leshino Family Bank. Wow. Celebrate it. You can as well enjoy some music. That's why we have the band. Come on. Thank you so much, Asante Sana. All right, we're going to have a photo moment just right there, just the way we are, and then I'm going to organize a few more, so if you don't mind. Chairman, you could just settle right there. Photographers, feel that moment. For the ones who are just watching, feel free to stand, sit. It's up to you now because it's a good moment. There you go. Let's all look at the photographers at the center right there. 3, 2, 1, go. May we have that. I'll also be having the next photo with the Family Bank Chairman, the CBK Chairman, the Family Bank Founder as well, Family Bank CEO, CMA Chairman, and NSC Chairman and CEO as well. The rest of us, thank you so much. I shall be calling you back. Let me remain with the Founder, the chairpersons present. There you go. Yeah, kindly step forward, one step forward, just a little bit. One step forward, there you go. Frank, you here? Excellent, just checking in. Let's look straight at those cameras. Our next photo, we shall have. Excellent, there you go. Thank you so much. Let me have the chairpersons only with the NSC CEO and the Family Bank CEO remaining. Excellent. I think we were the one. Okay, excellent. No, Founder, you don't go yet, Mr. TK. This photo is not complete without you. No photo is complete without you, actually. Lovely. May we have now, let's look at that cameras. Thank you so much. The Family Bank Board of Directors and the CEO. The rest of us, thank you so much, chairpersons, for that. So, Founder, you still remain right there. Board members, if you don't mind, please come up here for this quick photo as well. Karibuni sana. Thank you so much. Next, we shall have as well Family Bank Chairman, CEO, the transaction advisors, the legal advisor, and PwC. Be on standby. I'm calling you after this one. Kindly, if you don't mind, you want the other side? You want on the other side? Okay, excellent. Maybe, yeah, one gentleman probably, right? Oh, okay, that side. All right, there you go. Lovely. Is that good? Lovely. So let's look straight at the camera. There you go. There you go. Lovely, lovely. Excellent. One more photo. May I have the transaction advisor, the legal advisor, representative, and PwC, if you don't mind. Chairman, CEO, you remain right there, right there. You are the constant today. So may I have the transaction advisors kindly come up here. Lovely, lovely. Let's have that quick photo there. Excellent. Exco team, are you here? The Exco team, you are next. You will join in for the next photo. These are the transaction advisors, the legal advisors as well. Karibuni sana. There you go. Let's all look straight into the cameras. Don't look at the other ones. They're fake. Just look at the real thing at the center. Lovely. Thank you so much, transaction advisors. Next, we have the Exco team, Family Bank Exco team. Kindly come up here. The Exco team, if you don't mind, make it faster if you can. Come up right here. Thank you so much. And family, be ready. We are coming next, right? I said we, just so that we can be. So please get set, get set, get set, get set. This is the Exco team. Wow, I love this. Come all the way here, making like a nice curve. Like a nice curve, yes. Lovely. No, don't feel like, don't go away too much. You okay here. Oh, excellent. We still have some more. CFO, without this photo, where's the money? There you go. It's a big one, it's a big one. Just hold on. This one looks like the auditor. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. It's important, yeah. Lovely. Do we have everybody? Excellent, 3, 2, go. Thank you so much. And just before the family comes, may I request the former chair, and if you have any of your former board members to kindly come up for a quick photo, please. One Wilfred Kibori, if you don't mind. Thank you so much, Exco. Yes, thank you so much, Exco. We shall have more time for more pictures. So, my constant team, please remain right there. Yes, chair. Chair, that is your permanent position for now, right? Former chair, if you have any former of the board members, if you're here, make it first. Family members, are we ready? This is going to be the most important fan picture, right? We shall show them what they got, all right? Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for being right here. Let's take that quick one. Asante sana. All right. Yes? Kabiru. Oh, he's coming back. All right, we shall repeat this one, but let's first of all take that one for the sake of it, all right? We shall take one with Kabir once he comes in. Hiya. All right, let's look at the camera. Very straightforward there. Here you go. Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. All right. And the family, where are we? Let's all come here. Let's all, because please come over here. Thank you so much, family. Family is coming right here. All of us, let's have a good moment here. Excellent. Please note, this is just family members, not those who feel like family. So please come over here. Yeah. You know, this is Family Bank, so you never know. Someone is having feelings here already. So just come over here. Thank you so much. This one I'm not going to organize it. They know how they do it, family. Yeah, all good. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, like you should be right at the front, you know, like right there, at the front there. Yeah, excellent. There you go. Yeah. There's a special way this is done. Yeah. Yeah. Tandy, you've been called there? Yeah. Excellent. Lovely. There you go. Let's have that moment. And you know what? We can appreciate the family. Thank you so much for being right here. Asante sana. Yeah. Who is that? Oh, yeah, we shall repeat this one. I have seen him. He's right here. Yes. Excellent. Yeah. You want to take a selfie? Yeah? Enjoy. This is your day. Please come closer here. This is the best position. Everybody, take a look here. Excellent. There you go. Chairman, there you go. Lovely. When it's family moments, even you at home, you do these kind of things. Thank you so much. We appreciate that moment. Woo! Makofi tafadhali for that moment. Asante sana. Hey. Lovely. This is very good. Was it clean? Was it nice? Lovely. Excellent. I want to repeat the former chair and the former board because I have seen one of the board members has come. Former chair, please, and your former board. Kindly come up here. Yes, it's right here. Yes, they're coming. Right here. Thank you. Please come back here. Yes. Karibuni sana. Yes. Kebati is right here. He's right here. Excellent. Yes, he's right here. Come here. Karibuni sana. There you go. Let's look straight at it. Madam CEO, they would not have been there if not for you. Please come. Yes, come. Let's just pause right there because the CEO is going to join you very fast. Madam CEO, if you don't mind. Yes. Eric, please come up. Please come up here. Company Secretary. Yes. Yeah. There you go. All right. Let's take that picture. 3, 2, go. Straight there. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, what a moment, what a time, what a season. Thank you so much. Asanteni sana. Very good. Let's appreciate that moment. Let's appreciate them even as they take their seats as we close and come to a close of this session. Asante sana. Ladies and gentlemen, as we take that final one. Yes, that is important. Take that one. Take this one. Yes, cameras. You're back. Yes, lovely. Asante sana. That was me applauding. Asante sana. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think is the start of an amazing time for us to make some money. Feel free to trade. Thank you so much for being here. Let's appreciate that moment with a beautiful clap. Asante sana. And feel nice to enjoy some moment with the band. In fact, why don't we stand for a moment? Everybody stand for a moment. There you go. Take us down. Come on. Thank you so much for coming. Enjoy the packed nice snacks in your places. Asante sana. God bless you. See you.
It's a celebration.